I'm Theresa Contreras, Design Muse, and we are at the Mint 400, and today we have Ethan Ebert here with the Honda Passport. Oh my God, there is so much around this vehicle. Please tell us about your racing career with Honda Racing.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a long and fun racing career that I've had with Honda. It's a great relationship, great family, you know, and yeah, we're just keeping on going. So with the unveiling of the new Passport that we're just revealing, yeah, so we used to be in the Ridgeline, now we're unveiling the Passport. So everybody seems to love it. It's catching on with everybody because it's different, you know. Yeah. So we're the only trophy truck with an SUV body on it, and it's just really cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, how excited did you get when you heard that that's what you were going to be running in?
Well, I mean, it's been in the works for a little bit now, so it's been building anticipation.
Okay.
And I've just been getting renders after renders after renders, and it's like, man, it's like coming along pretty good.
Nice.
And then I finally get to see it all in person, and it just came out even better than I expected.
So how did your racing career start, and then how did that kind of follow into Honda?
So it started when I was 10 years old, and I went up, so I live in Tucson, Arizona, and it started, we went to the Wild Horse Pass, and we watched a short course race because my buddy was racing, Luke Knupp, actually. So Luke Knupp's the only reason I'm in here right now, so I got to thank him.
Very cool. Shout out right there.
Exactly. But yeah, no, we went to one of the short course races, and I looked at my dad and I said, Dad, like, we got to do this. So my dad bought Luke's old backup car.
Nice.
And we just started racing from there, and then it spiraled down. So
nice. And then how did that transition into Honda racing kind of happen?
It was honestly like super spontaneous. So during short course, a lot of people know it's kind of died off over here on this side of the world, and so it kind of slowly started dying, which really sucked. And one of my last races, Honda Proctor came to me and was like, hey, like, we're going to do this driver development program. We want you to be the first person to kind of do it.
Love it.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
And I was like, dude, yes, like, absolutely, because it was getting from short course going to desert. So it was really what I needed to stay racing, and started driving the Talon, and then now I'm driving the trophy truck for him.
Love it. And what area are you from?
Tucson, Arizona. So,
okay,
yeah.
Cool. So then when you started doing the racing, is that local to the area, or where did you kind of go find it?
Yeah, it's kind of local. So the short course races, we'd go all over the country with Lucas Oil. So,
okay, cool.
The closest one to me was obviously Wild Horse Pass, and that was in Phoenix. Then we go to California, Reno, and Missouri, all places like that.
Love it. Okay, so they have a lot of anticipation behind this vehicle. It looks like you guys have been doing cool videos and stuff like that too. Like, did you get to drive it during the video?
Oh, yeah.
How was all of that?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
I was the stunt driver, if you will, for that video. But yeah, no.
Acting as yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, it's been a very hectic week.
Yeah.
Just for me, I can say that for sure.
Did this happen yesterday?
So the first time it happened on Monday. So the first shoot we had was on Monday, and then the dirt stuff was on Tuesday.
Yep.
And then it just got edited all before, and then we released it on Wednesday. So it's definitely been hectic, but we got it done.
That's usually the way things go if people don't know. It's like nothing's happening, and then everything's happening all at once.
Exactly,
so,
especially in off-road. It's to the last minute. Boys are in the shop till 3 a.m., races at 5 a.m.
This is a real thing. This is exactly how it happens. If you don't know, this is it.
There you go.
No, it's great. I mean, I've seen, some of the guys that we've had on, like Brian Moore, Brian Lambert, people like that, who are covering it. So fantastic people to be covering all of that. So I can't wait to see the video. I saw some of the trailer on it, so that was really cool. So I'm pretty excited. So what do you think about the course? Kind of nice. We got some rain, a little sprinkle yesterday, right?
Right. So I'm honestly, in my opinion, I'm hoping for more and more rain. I'm hoping for all the rain you can get,
right?
Just to kind of soak it into the ground. Exactly. And maybe help something out, but it's not looking like it. We might get a little more drizzle here and there.
Sure.
But no, this course is always super gnarly. I mean, it's the Mint,
is.
It's one of the biggest races, or it's the biggest race in the state, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, it's rough, tough, gnarly, and if your stuff can make it, then you win, basically. So
yeah, it is an iconic race, definitely, for this area. I love that they do contingency because it's like so much fun, right? I mean,
exactly.
Hey, I met you by just walking by and stuff,
There you go.
Max's Tires is repping you.
Yep.
So really cool to see you out here doing all this. Yeah, I mean, is there anything else, sponsors you'd like to give a shout out to?
Just a lot of the guys at Evan Weller's shop. I mean, they put in hours upon hours trying to get this truck prepped and ready to go, and that's the only reason we're here today. So I just want to thank Evan Weller, Austin specifically. He had to go through the truck after the 1,000, and we had a rough 1,000, so that was a lot of work to do. But I mean, everybody on the side of the door, everybody on the truck that helps us get here, because without them we couldn't do it. So Jeff Proctor for putting on the show, my mom and my dad, because without them I couldn't have even been here in the first place. So my sister, everybody that comes around, all the fans, and most importantly, the Martelli brothers. I mean, they have
what a great event, right?
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't be here right now today. We'd be at work right now. So.
Totally agree.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that they brought this back. Again, so much history.
Yep.
It's really an experience. It's not just a race, you know?
Exactly.
I mean, you're coming out here. Did you do the parade yesterday too?
Yes, yeah. So that was like our first kind of show of the world, so it was awesome.
You got to get out and, talk to your fans, get to know them.
Exactly.
I mean, that's part of it, right?
Exactly.
All of this really entails all of that.
Yeah,
so.
And in my opinion, this is pretty much the closest we get to going down to Mexico.
I agree.
Because this is exactly like Mexico. All the fans get to come out, basically get close to the truck. So I think it's awesome. Yeah,
it's really the only thing in the United States, I think, that compares to like the Baja 1000.
Exactly.
Something like that. So
exactly.
Totally agree with you. Well, I wish you the best of luck. Are you racing tomorrow or on Saturday?
We'll be racing on Saturday. We qualify Friday.
Yep. Awesome. So you get to qualify tomorrow, and very cool. So I wish you the best of luck out there.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks, Ethan. And I have Damon Flippo with me. He is the relationships manager. I love that, with Rigid Industries. So, tell us, what does that entail? I love that intro right there.
Yeah,
great. Is this a BS thing or what?
Pretty much it's a BS thing. It's a nice title that they put on me to make sure that the brand connects with real world.
Love
we'll put
that.
it that way.
You know what? And I was talking to Jason over here, and we were saying that is you bring a presence to what, and making sure that that's known, and you do a great job at it.
I appreciate that. It's passion. I've been there since, I took some time off when I semi-retired, and
and he's back.
Yeah, and I'm back. And that's I've been in the industry most of my life.
Yeah.
Started racing in '79.
What were you racing in '79?
My first race was the Orange Crush Off-Road Classic at what is now known as Firebird Raceway.
Love it.
I raced a '76 Husqvarna 125. My uncle put me on it. I couldn't touch the ground. He said,
rad.
I said, so what do I do here? He goes, you win, because if you stop, you're not getting back on the bike. I did not win, by the way.
I mean, most people don't on their first race.
But no.
But you did get back on the bike.
Oh, yeah. I figured it out.
Okay.
No, so my job is to make sure that, people need something. We need to understand things. I'm not the politically correct person, so I'm the perfect person to send out to do that.
I love that. I think that's what's so important. I don't care what you talk about, but in this world, it's about connecting with other people.
100%.
In relationships are everything.
100%. And I tell people that all the time. You can have the best product. You can have the best shipping program, whatever it is, racing program. If you cannot make a relationship with people, you're not going to sell. You're not going to succeed. You're not. I think one of the things I do a little bit believe in is we've lost a lot of that relations.
I agree.
People they burn relations very quickly, especially in the off-road game. Well, so-and-so is going to give me this for free now.
Yeah.
That's great for you now, but down the road, it's let's make that relationship. And no, I got your back. I'll do everything I can for you. I can't always do what you may want.
Yeah.
But I can. There's going to be a point where I can, and that relationships work.
Yeah.
You know that.
I do. No, it is so important. And building that foundation of what it is, like what you're talking about, being honest with
100%.
people, of what that looks like it's all so important. I mean, literally that's all of us are doing in life is
100%.
having relationships with each other. So
it is
whatever it is, business, personal, whatever it is.
It is.
So it's just honoring that.
Yeah, you know the drill. You know how it goes. I mean, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in.
Yeah.
I mean, that it is. It's just about be yourself, be true, and you'll succeed.
Yeah. So what do you think it's important about having a presence in relationships here at the Mint 400?
I am 120,000% involved because, longest off-road race in the U.S.
Right.
We need to, I believe whether you like it, you can't afford it, whatever, you need to figure it out. Because if you're not here, it's very quickly people become, if you don't show up to something, you don't have to always show up, spending $100,000. And when I say that, I'm talking about companies.
Yeah.
But you have to show up because it's
again. This is so important. Yeah.
It's once again about the relationship.
Yeah.
Show up. You know what? Hand out a couple stickers. Talk to your people so they know that, hey, we do have. I'm not BSing you trying to get you to buy my product. I want a relationship, and let's what can I do for you?
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
Yeah. No, 100%. I so agree with this so much. Like, showing up is like, it's part of what in my DNA that I know is so important. Yep. It's like people get to know you, again, building that relationship. It's not, just behind the scenes in social media. It's in person.
Yes.
Building that. So yeah, very important. And I think the Mint 400 is great at having that history
100%.
And what it's been built on
Yes.
and where it's going.
It is. And, Matt and them have done, I believe, a really good job at that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're keeping the race going. And we all know the climate of the world right now. It doesn't matter where you're at with government and stuff.
Sure.
What side of the bench you're on there. But they don't, to keep this going is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun.
Right?
So, but you have to show up again.
And look at all these people that have showed up.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, and why wouldn't you want to show up to Las Vegas?
Agreed.
On Fremont Street.
Agreed.
This is, it's not, I know it's not free, but it's pretty much the cheapest way you can advertise without having to do a whole lot.
I totally agree. No, I think there's a great presence. So something I tell everyone for being at Contingency, you have not only consumers here, you have all the racers.
Yes.
You have all the industry people
Their
here.
families.
Oh, yeah. Literally everyone is walking on this
Yes.
street today. This is the main event almost. I mean, racing is amazing and all of that, and
100%.
everyone goes out there, but today is the day that everyone shows up.
100%. Just look around. I'm serious. Like, the vehicles, there's boats over here on display.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I saw that. Yeah.
It's funny because, we have to come in early for this, but even the people that don't know anything, they're from another country. They're here in Vegas to gamble. Oh, you're for the race? And they come down Fremont Street. They won't go out there. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But this is
opening their
great.
eyes to our culture is huge.
And, and our culture goes over.
Yeah.
The car culture in general. I mean, a lot of us are here from back in the mini truck era. Let's not lie about it.
We were talking about those days last night.
And now we've just kept going.
Evolved into what that looks like.
The entire automotive industry has evolved.
I totally agree.
Whether it's hot rods or anything else, but now you get time on Fremont Street, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
People that don't know anything about a car are down here buying your hat, your shirt, you're getting a free whatever it is. How do you do any better promotion than that? There's not another one.
Totally.
There's not another one.
Totally agree. And you got a prime location. You're right there in the front.
Yeah, we do pretty well with that, I get a pretty good spot.
That was really
Can't
good.
complain about it.
And I believe you have your nephew racing. Please tell us about that.
We do. Kyle McMullen. He is going to be racing the Class 1 car. Okay. It's now, we managed to get a pretty good sponsor. Fury Tires came on and sponsored him.
Nice.
We're doing some testing for him. But yes, he is racing this race, ready to go in a Class 1 car. So
exciting.
He qualifies, I believe, tomorrow, and then Saturday we go racing.
And then the big race, I know.
Yep. So
love it.
We just got to get him to finish. Love him to death.
Oh, yeah. Hey, racing is, it's a challenge.
100%,
The attrition part of it, I mean, first off, the Mint 400, it's it's brutal out there.
It
you
is.
know, it's a rough racetrack. The good part is it did rain a little bit yesterday. It'll keep the dust down.
It will. No, for sure. The dust will be down.
You know, that's one of the hardest things in racing is
that give and take on the weather.
You need to see.
Yep.
You need to see what you're doing. And half the time when there's all dust, you can't see what you're doing.
No, 100%. The only thing about this course is some of the spots, I don't think it rained hard enough.
Sure.
Like to hold a lot of water.
Yeah, there's a lot of silt out there.
Then it becomes a bit of an issue. But the rest of the stuff, I think it'll be good racing, good spectating, good time as always. You know, I do miss the days of 2 days of us being on Fremont Street, but that's okay. I get it.
Yeah, totally. So why do you think it's important for Rigid Industries to like have a presence though on Fremont Street like this?
We have to.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we started this in 2006. We have to have that presence because, once again, like I said, you can have the best product.
Yeah.
But if you're not out here rubbing, you know, elbows, talking to the general public, talking to your racers, talking to the different manufacturers, you go quietly into the dark, and that's not a good thing.
Pretty much. And that's the thing is it's always continually showing up.
Correct.
You can't just disappear because you said quietly into the dark.
Yep.
That totally, yeah.
You know, and I tell people that all the time, you know, you can't just show up at the Mint.
Yeah.
I get it that this is the coolest, most fun race of the year.
Yeah.
But you have to continually show up in some form. You don't have to pull out all the bells and whistles, but you have to show up and be there.
I love these. Very wise words from Damon right here. Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
I want to thank you for having me on, and
Awesome.
Thank you for everything.
Always.
Let's hope that my nephew gets that thing to the finish line.
Yes!
I would prefer a podium, but we'll accept the finish, you know?
Perfect.
So Kyle, if you're listening, get it there.
Well, we'll find out afterwards.
Exactly.
Huh?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Sweetheart. Thank you.
Since 1987, GTS Customs has specialized in restomod Corvettes. From widened bodies to pro touring vehicles with all today's modern technology. If you've got a Corvette, an old Corvette, and you want to make it drive like something new, contact gtscustoms.com.
Baja Forged, signature vehicle builds and off-road products built to forge your own path. Baja Forged was basically made because we loved off-roading. We loved the open roads. If you're looking for off-road products to help you get out on the terrain, visit bajaforged.com. Follow us on Instagram at Baja Forged for our latest builds. Okay, I'm Theresa Contreras, Design Muse at the Mint 400, and I have Erica Seats. I know, it's so in my head.
Okay, take two.
Okay, I know. Okay, fine.
Nobody needs to know the last name.
Okay.
Just start from the top.
We are here with Erica from Autofluencer. Tell us what Autofluencer is, Erica.
Hey, Theresa, thanks. So Autofluencer is a platform to help brands and racers work together more seamlessly. So we provide tools to our brand partners so that they can manage all of their sponsorships or partnerships or ambassadorships or relationships.
All the different ships
whatever
that you want to call them.
the shipping that you've got going.
Perfect.
We help manage that so you can see all of your drivers or all your sponsored partners in one place. We make the process of building a sponsorship program really, really easy in our tool. You can see what you're expecting, what you gave to who. You can do contracts in it. But most importantly, what most people use us for, most of our brand partners, is reporting. So you can see, hey,
very important.
We gave
Everyone
away
wants to know all the behind the scenes.
Exactly.
ROI,
We gave away
totally.
$50,000 of product. What did we get for that? Like,
Sure.
what happened next? You know,
Sure.
who did post about us?
Yeah.
Whose content is crushing? You know, and maybe we should do more with that person instead of just a sponsorship. Maybe we should have them do content creation for us. And who maybe we took a chance on a few people and they didn't really live up. You know, everybody
Sure.
gets hit up by people being like, yo, man, I'm going to post about you every day. I'm going to do all this cool shit. And then, like, they don't deliver.
So it's real, yeah, for sure. No,
And it automates the whole process.
Yeah, people need to know that. And
Yeah.
hey, the Mint 400, like, why do you think you should be out here? Because obviously, this is an amazing event with all of those people,
Yeah.
all of these
Yeah.
relationships you're talking
Exactly.
about.
So for us at the Mint and this is where we find all of those brands that do truly look at it as partnerships.
Yeah, for sure.
And for us, that's really important. You know, it's not about having measurement to, you know, have a stick approach, right? Like, oh, you didn't do good, so you're out. But it's more of like, wow, this partnership is so great. We also are building in accountability tools to remind the racers and drivers that they do have deliverables due from their brand partners.
I love that.
Because
we all want to be
forgets
accountable.
We're all busy.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest complaints I hear is like, bro, I got 40 sponsors on this truck, man. Like, yes, oops, this one slipped through.
They should be
but
important.
But they don't want that to slip through. And there aren't a lot of great project management tools out there for the racers, drivers, or the creator partners. So we're building that out as well to help both sides be more successful.
Yep. So exciting. Exciting. I'm glad you made it out to the Mint. I'm glad that I could see you out here. Always fun.
First time, and you're the one who convinced me to come. So I did almost come on the wrong day, though. I did text Theresa last week. I'm like, hey, girl, am I going to see you tomorrow? And she's like, wait, what?
Gave me a heart attack.
So it changed all this is why I'm not allowed to multitask. I am not good at it. I was on the phone with someone looking up the dates. And like an idiot, like booked my flight off of that. And then
this is why management tools help so much. Because we all need them.
I know.
We all need them in our life.
So, but yeah, well, thanks for asking about Autofluencer. And one cool thing is it is free to racers, creators. So you can actually log in and create your own reporting to send to brands. So if your brand partners don't have a tool or you still want to show them like, yo, I am doing all this for you. So that hopefully you can get a bigger partnership, a title sponsorship. And, our goal is through data transparency, get you some money.
So, go ahead and sign up for free on autofluencer.com.
Thanks. Okay. That was totally 30 seconds.
Hey everyone, Theresa here with High Octane Hustle, and we are at the Mint 400, and I ran into Senate Ruby. So Ruby, I love that, we've talked on Instagram, we talked briefly. Tell us about what you do.
Well, which day?
Love that.
So I'm Senate Ruby. I am a race car builder, off-road driver. I'm a content creator. I partnered with Lincoln this year. So we are doing a ton of one-on-one small group welding demos. I'm helping them with some product development. I'm a wife, mom of 4, 2 dogs, a tortoise, and I love to build cars or bikes, anything in the dirt, rocks.
And how did all that start?
Well, I started an Instagram page for my off-road stuff in 2020. I was a contractor that was a fashion blogger, and I didn't want to put Jeep stuff on it. And I went off-road, and I got the bug, and the rest is history.
Love that. Love that. And you said, so you're not out here racing right now, but you did race recently.
Yeah, I just raced the King of Hammers in a car that I 100% built myself.
Nice.
We lost power steering 20 miles from the finish. And honestly, I'm not mad about it. It
happens.
Yeah, I committed to racing Hammers. The first time I went in 21. I slept in a tent on the lake bed, got the bug. I was like, I'm going to do this.
Right.
And missed it the past 2 years for various reasons, but got a ton of seat time in this year, and I am ready for next year.
I mean, that's what it's about, right?
Totally.
You just have to get out there and actually do it.
You do.
Seat time, it's all about that. You need to get to know the course, the area,
Well, in your car, and, I learned a lot about things I love about my car and things that we're going to change, and just doing the race has taken my platform to another place. So we've just got a lot of support for this season and next year that will help us go faster.
Love it. Yeah, no, that's the thing for sure. You need to get to know your car. I mean, even when you're pre-running and doing some of these other things, it's not the same as out there being in the race. You know?
Well, I've said this a few times today. There is no replacement for the dress rehearsal that an active race course gives you.
Totally agreed. Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So why are you at the Mint 400 then?
So I usually, if I'm not racing, I do racing tracks, but I came down just to do a bunch of PR and see fabulous people like yourself.
Right.
And I brought the husband and a couple of the kids, and
love it.
I have a 13-year-old who's got the bug. And so
this is the place to be then.
Yes, she's gone to Hammers with me a bunch, and she's never been here. So now she's like,
awesome.
We're gonna go home, and she's gonna be like, okay.
You know, contingency, there really isn't anything else like it.
No,
I mean, to be out
especially
here,
this one.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, it's one of the best there is.
Totally.
Really, right?
Totally.
You get the bug. I mean, there's all the race cars right in front of you, and every single brand is out here. We were talking with Damon earlier from Rigid, and you know, we were talking about how important presence is and showing up.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's like, oh, you're not racing, but you're here. You're showing up,
Yes.
you know?
There's literally not, other than, like, I don't go to Baja much, but we will be. I'm at every race.
Yeah.
And I think that's been huge for my career. Not only just races, but, you know, I'll be at Easter Jeep Safari. I'll be at Camp Trail Hero. I'm at every off-road expo.
Yeah.
The more people can see you, the better.
Networking,
It's
getting
everything.
to know people, right?
And this
it really
business is this,
It
100%.
really is. Yep.
If you don't do this, you're not going to grow.
Yep, definitely. That's exactly what he talked about, relationships and how important that is. You know, it's not just on social media, it's in person, it's getting to know people, their rapport, all of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, love
So,
that. Well,
yeah.
it's always great running into
It's
you, but
so
I'm
good.
glad that we could actually
Yes.
sit down and chat a
Yes,
little bit
thank you
more.
for having
So,
me.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, and hopefully
so.
I can see you at the Real Deal sometime this year.
Yes.
And
well, let's do some
we
welding
need
demos.
To. We
I know,
totally
for
need
sure.
to.
Yeah,
So I would
for
love
sure.
that.
Awesome.
Thanks for
so
having
much.
me.
Awesome. Yay. Yeah, no. We're rolling. Okay. Hey, guys. Theresa here at the Mint 400, and I ran into Truckshow podcast host Sean Holman right here.
What's up?
What is up? So good.
You know, that's
So
just
good to
one of
see
my
you.
many jobs.
One of his many. One of. Go ahead.
No,
Tell them all.
I feel like I was in Washington, D.C. doing some
The
advocacy.
different hats, right?
Oh, yeah, this is the OVR hat. So if you like off-roading, we've got Off-Road Magazine OVR, so I'm one of the owners of that. And then, I own the Truckshow podcast and host that. And then on top of that, I've got my little marketing and consulting company. I do that on the side. So yeah, I'm busy. Like I said, I just got back from DC. I took the
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I took the red eye last night to Vegas so I could be here for the Mint, but I was there on Capitol Hill with SEMA advocating for the end of the California EV mandate that affects about
The
actually
end of it. I like how you. Yes.
the repeal of
Yes.
the mandate. So there was a waiver that was allowed by the Biden administration right before he left office, and so the Congress is going to have a review of that and hopefully revoke it. And so we were there to basically promote the automotive aftermarket and the continuation of the internal combustion engine, because the way it's written in 2035, California is outlawing ICE engines and they have to be 100% EV.
Yeah.
But what people don't realize is that there are many states that are tied to whatever California does. They have trigger laws and they're automatically tied to that. So if you think, oh, it's a California issue,
Yeah,
it's not.
no.
It affects nearly half the population of the United States all of a sudden without you knowing it, from a
Yeah.
state that you don't live in. It's going to dictate what kind of car you can drive. So really important for me to be there in DC, and
I
that was
agree.
awesome.
For sure. No, thank you for being there. I love that SEMA had a couple different people, excuse me, that were out there doing that. Definitely. I mean, it's so important. It's not that we don't want EVs, it's that we don't
No.
want only EVs.
So in fact,
That's
General
really
Motors
what it is.
released the Silverado EV race truck that's got 1,000
That's
plus
gonna be
horsepower
out here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chad
for
Hall
sure.
and Hall Racing is going to race that, so that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. And I own an EV, and
Yeah.
but it's my around town car. I also own a V8 Wrangler. So at the end of the day, we want consumer choice.
we
SEMA,
want choice, yeah,
Yeah,
for
SEMA
sure.
has taken the posture of technology neutrality. They aren't going to, promote any particular drivetrain. They just
Yeah.
want consumer choice, and that's what we were promoting and advocating for, is that consumer choice. And you come
I
out
love
here to the
that.
Mint, you look at all the different vehicles here, the tow rigs, the race cars, you see the vintage stuff, the bikes, there's EVs, there's little guy stuff. I mean, there's
Right.
such a variety. Why would we ever want to take that away and take away choice?
No, and we really want to see technology grow and expand, and it needs to be out there in order for that to happen, and not just, that's it, there's one way or the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the government shouldn't put their finger on the scale of what technology is the winner or loser. It
Yeah.
should be consumer choice, and that's what that's what it should be in our type of country. Like, you should let the consumer decide what they want, and for the government to insert themselves in places like that where they have no business being because of whatever ideological goals that they are trying to achieve isn't fair to industry, isn't fair to consumers, and it isn't fair to the population at large.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're here at this event, the Mint 400. Look at all these people out here. All of the right. All internal, most of them.
We're just listening.
Over 90%, right?
Yeah, we're listening to them go about. Here's the thing I love about the Mint is we're contingency and we're out here.
It's so great.
There's no walls that are up. You can walk. You could be walking next to Ivan Stewart one minute and Vaughn Gittin the next, or Brad Lovell or whoever.
All the normal people, just like the
walking
rest
around.
of us.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
There's no barriers. There's no walls. People are mingling. You get the kids are getting their autographs out here. People are just chill. It reminds me of kind of like the old days of Baja, where everybody is just there doing their thing, and I love seeing it. I love that it's in Vegas, and I love that the Mint has really put in the effort to build a race series that is for the common man. And I think you can see even this year there's so much more, quote unquote, stock class entries than there have been in the past. Manufacturers are starting to come. You've got
the production,
production stuff, and it's. Ford is coming in force this year. GM is coming in force this year.
Yeah, for
I think there's a Ram that's running. Come on, Toyota, get out here.
That was the call right there.
Well, I saw something. Toyota's been really good at all the different races of having a consumer activation, but I want to see them on the race course.
Yeah, and look at that Honda Passport that's out here too.
I heard there was one that was closer to stock, but I saw the trophy truck version, and that thing was rad.
You're right. It's not. Yeah. It's not very close to stock.
No, that's the trophy truck one. But I'm like, all right, I like it.
So impressive.
I like
it. Yeah, for sure. It's just a body, but
it's still cool.
It's still cool.
Listen. If you're a gearhead, you don't care. You just love to see it out here. And more manufacturers that participate, the better. Even if they don't have a direct, link back to their production vehicle, they're still getting R&D out here. They're still being part of the community. Good for them. Yeah,
for sure. No, what I love about contingency is there's the nostalgia of it and the history of racing. And like you said, it's an everyman sport, Yeah. Everyone can come out here. There's kids out here walking around and families everywhere. And this is really getting everyone at the beginning, like you said, grassroots level of what this is like, that, everyone's welcome to come do this.
I love it. This is a special race, and it's great to see that the enthusiasm for it is still as high as ever.
Right.
Because it's easy to have these things, over time, people lose interest, and that's not the case here. And congratulations to the Martelli brothers for continuing this. I think with 13 or 14 years of ownership now.
Yeah.
I think they've been amazing stewards of this race, and kudos to them for keeping it alive.
Definitely. I mean, people talk about the political climate or things like that. It's really look out here. We have our off-road culture is thriving right now. Yeah. I mean, you see it right in front of our own eyes. People are out here, like you said, the Martelli brothers do an awesome job at making this an experience that people do not forget.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
You know what? I love that we've got gearhead brothers and sisters out there that are keeping the passion alive for all of us, because if not them, who's going to be the one to do it, right?
Definitely.
I mean, the fact that there's people out there who are willing.
Hey, it's what we're doing too, right?
Yeah, I mean,
we got to keep the conversation going.
Exactly.
Everyone knowing about what's going on out there.
Yep.
So.
I just feel like it's nice to see people that aren't just riding the pine, letting other people. There's actually people in the industry that are stepping up to actively ensure that these types of traditions and races and events
continue to happen. Yeah. For sure. Well, Sean, thanks for stopping by. I know you got a dinner with BF Goodrich coming up.
Yep, we got a fancy sushi dinner tonight.
Sweet.
Listen, here's the problem with sushi: it's really expensive. It's not filling. So when somebody else takes you out, you gotta. I'm gonna be like Homer at that seafood restaurant. Bring it all in. Yeah, no, it's great. BFG has been a great partner and friend over the years, and definitely great to be able to come out here with them and experience the stuff. So great to see you. Good luck on the podcast.
Awesome.
And we'll talk soon.
Thank you. It was so funny. So good. It's about us laughing.
Oh, sorry, we're rolling. Hi.
I'm Theresa here with Octane Hustle, and I am with one of my good friends, Emme Hall. Emme,
Dude,
it was great to run into you today.
I know. Well, that's all the Mint 400 is, right? Is like, especially,
Totally agree.
I feel like the Mint has one of the best contingency programs because there's so many people. Like everyone's down here on Fremont Street. You can still get up close with the trucks and everything.
Yep.
It's a really, really good time. Even if you're not, I'm not racing and I'm still
right?
here.
Definitely. And it's everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the racers out here. You have everyone in the industry.
Yeah.
You know everyone in the industry is here. From manufacturers to all the aftermarket companies, like,
Yeah,
and then consumers.
I dropped my shocks off at Fox. I was like, these need to be rebuilt. I brought a granny cart with me.
Oh,
and
I
the
mean,
shocks are in there, and I'm like,
But you
"Thanks,
know
guys."
everyone's here.
Yeah,
so this
yeah.
Is the,
So I
this
was like,
is the place.
this is where I can like
This
drop
is
all
the
that stuff
place.
off. And now I get to sit down and chat with you.
I know. So exciting. Okay, so let's go back to when you kind of got into automotive. I don't know if we want to go. Do we want to go back like when you were a kid?
No, because
Okay,
that's
just
no,
into
but-
automotive.
So what I do as a job for money
Yes.
is I'm lucky enough to get to write about cars. So I review cars, I get to drive cars and then say what I think about them. I get to do like features on people in the automotive
bad
world,
stuff.
even the bad stuff I do. I say the bad stuff. And it's really fun and allows me to travel a lot and allows me to get into a lot of different vehicles, and I kind of never know what's coming next, right? So it's
Yep,
super fun.
Love that.
But before I started doing all that, I worked in theater.
Yeah.
I was a costume person in theater. But I'd always done off-road. Like my dad was a racer.
Yeah.
And so like I
So
grew up
cool.
in that era, but I never really saw any woman that was racing. So it didn't never really occur to me. Like
It doesn't resonate. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, yeah.
So you couldn't see it. It's
Right.
like you need to see
yeah.
it. Yeah.
And I
for
loved
sure.
driving, and I drove the dune buggy like
Yep.
as soon as I was old enough to reach the pedals and all that stuff. But
Love that.
I didn't actually start racing until 2009 or 10. Like I was in my 40s. Start racing in a 16 car, and you're like,
Love
oh,
it.
I got fear. This is scary.
That is fantastic. And what do you race now?
So now I'm out of the air-cooled world, which I love.
that,
I
yeah.
love the air-cooled world so much. And I love Class 11s, but I also love Miatas.
Okay.
So now I have a lifted Miata named Buddy, and here I'm wearing my,
Right.
my Yeah Buddy t-shirt. And
We'll be sure to get some photos.
yeah. And we were, I raced here at the Mint for 2 years, and the Mint gives us a
And I love your reason for why you race the Mint.
because they give us a gambler class.
Oh, but the other guy that said he was going to race.
Oh, this is a great story.
Right.
So there's another guy that I just know from the internet. His name is Dylan. He also has a lifted Miata, and actually his content is really good. So it's the Rad Factory, and I want to, because Dylan will try everything twice.
Okay.
And he does, where it's like, I'm very much concentrated on like making Buddy the best off-road vehicle I can.
Okay.
Dylan will like put skis on his car or put treads on his car. Like he does weird
Sure.
stuff. But
Fun.
he was saying, I'm going to be the first Miata to race the Mint 400. And I immediately went, oh no,
Challenge
you're not.
accepted.
That will not happen. So I spent
Love
all
this.
this money getting this stupid car ready. And then Dylan doesn't even show up.
And you were the first
And
Miata.
I was the first Miata to race the Mint 400.
There you go.
So,
you
and
called it.
also, I mean, the first Miata to race Rage at the River, and I'll be the first Miata to race Battle at Prim,
Love it.
But yeah, so thank you, Dylan, for motivating me to beat you.
Isn't it wonderful how people can fuel you in
Yeah.
that way?
Yeah,
I can say it.
yeah. Yeah, because like, I didn't expect that to happen.
It's
and-
like that negative motivation, like, you said I can't do this? Oh, watch me.
Yeah, exactly. You know what it is. It's the same thing,
know.
right? It's the same thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we had Buddy out here the past 2 years, and the Mint gives us a gambler class, which is basically
It's
for
so great.
yeah
I
for
know.
cars like mine, or like there's a Ford Crown Vic that's racing this
Oh,
year.
yeah, for
you know,
sure.
just like cars that shouldn't be racing off road. They put them in the gambler class.
I love it.
So, because otherwise I'd have to go in probably in like either 1450 or 1400,
Which you wouldn't be
No, I
the
mean,
same. Yeah, for
or
sure.
or like maybe sportsman truck or something. But then
Yeah.
you'd be out there doing like multiple laps, and I don't.
Yeah.
The Mint's a tough course.
Yeah.
Multiple
No,
laps.
it's great.
hard.
Yeah, and it's great to have classes like that because you're really putting yourself next to other cars that are similar to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because yes, you can't be in a 1450 class. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, I did it once, and it was a dumb idea, but I did it.
But you do. You want to be competitive against that.
Right.
And you did pretty good.
I did. I won the class both years.
Awesome.
Woo! Yeah,
Love
top
it.
speed of 25 miles an hour. Sorry, not top speed, average
Okay,
speed.
I was going to say, some people are going a little faster. It's not. I mean, racing is...
I think on the lake bed, I was maybe at like 80. And there was
that's
still
pretty good.
And there was still some room behind my foot, and I'm like, don't be dumb.
Oh,
Just don't be dumb.
I was like 98 on the race
On
bed,
the lake bed?
On the lake bed, yeah. So that was nice. I was like, oh.
And what class?
okay.
What were you in? What class were you in?
I was doing a trophy like class.
Oh yeah, then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
better
yeah.
be 90 on the lake bed.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, it was nice and smooth. It was great.
Yeah,
I
but
was
you
like,
got more.
this is
You
good.
got
I
more.
was passing people. I was like, oh, this feels good.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? I know, that's always so nice.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm so fast.
Right? I mean, that's what racing is. You kind of want to win.
But honestly, like, if I wanted to win, would I be racing a Miata? No. I'm here.
No, but you want to have fun.
I want to have fun. That's what
we like to do this because
Right.
we enjoy
And
going
honestly, like,
off-roading.
in my 16 car, I was always so nervous before a race that it wasn't fun.
Why? Why do you think you were nervous?
Well, because in 16, like, you have to be checkers or wreckers.
Yeah, I was gonna say it kind of beats you up.
It beats
that
you
car.
up,
You
and
have
that-
to be a driver.
Yeah,
You
and
have
there
to- yeah.
wasn't it was always nerve-wracking of like, I actually could really hurt myself.
Yeah.
Because you have to be on the pipe the whole time if you want to be competitive.
Sure.
Whereas like in Buddy, it's like, yeah, like we'll be on the pipe here, we'll be on the pipe there, but like if we need to slow down, it's not that big of a deal. And it's just
That's good.
I come out, my lead up to the race is less stressful.
Yeah.
And I have just as much fun in the car and afterwards, but it's a lead up to the race that I just don't get as like,
Well, it sounds like you have trust in Buddy. I know there's,
do have trust
there's
in
a
Buddy.
relationship there. So I have to say is that I love this story because when we were at Slash X and my mom had met you for the first time.
I remember that.
This is so great. talking about Buddy and how, oh, he's awesome. And then he came with me here. Oh, and then I took him here. And then my mom was like, oh, so your boyfriend Buddy. And I just like looked at my mom like, she doesn't have a boyfriend? What? I was like,
the car.
oh, Buddy.
It's so funny because I talk about that car. Listen, I don't have any kids. I'm not married. The car is like my whole life. It's like becomes wrapped up in your identity. And so at some
Totally.
point you have to be like, nobody wants to hear about this car anymore. You have to shut up about this car.
My mom was like so confused. She's like, wait, what? I was like, Mom, you act like we don't talk like that. She's like, I didn't know. I mean, well, okay. Out of the context of our conversation, it totally makes sense.
Totally makes sense. Because we weren't actually talking engine specifics. We were talking about him like he was a real person.
Totally.
So I get it, Mom. Teresa's mom, you're okay.
It was awesome.
Makes sense.
But it was funny. It was totally like a car girl guy thing where that's just how you talk and you're like, wait, what? Oh, on the outside looking in, yeah, I guess it does sound weird.
I can see how I sound like a total idiot. Yeah.
No, not a total idiot.
No, a half
It's just
idiot.
more, no, not that. It's just, they don't understand. It is a different language, I guess, that we are talking about that we have for that. And I get it. So you're kind of like, okay, let me go back and explain some of this to you. It's all good. And yes, if you didn't notice, we like to laugh together.
We do. We
So
like to
that
laugh
was
and we're
kind of
pretty
funny.
loud, so it's all good.
Just a little bit, you know.
I know.
It was funny because Jane couldn't be with us, so it was really sad. But she was like, you need to look for like another co-host that's really like fun and quirky. I was like, oh,
I mean,
Emmy?
we're neighbors.
I know.
Anytime you need me to fill in, I'm happy to do it.
Exactly.
I'm totally happy to do it.
And that was, so earlier we had on Damon from Rigid.
Uh-huh.
So I remember when I met you and I was kind of like, it was at Hammers a couple years ago. And I was
Yeah.
like, you're my neighbor. I think we should just like be friends.
I know you did. I know. I remember
Literally. And you're like, okay.
I remember that too. And you were like, we should be friends. Do you need help with the car? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And that was, but Theresa, that's what's so great about you as a person is that you're completely genuine, and you're so genuine in your desire to help people.
Oh gosh, it's so much fun.
Yeah,
I love it.
I know, but I love that you love that, because there's a lot of people who say like, if you need any help, call me, and they don't mean it.
Sure.
They don't mean it.
Yeah.
Or they mean it to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Remember trying to get those springs on the? Remember that and how?
I mean. They were too small.
It
That's
was not
all.
anything.
We couldn't figure it out. I felt so bad.
No, but the fact
Jason,
that we all you sat there with me at night trying to figure it out when like most people would have been like, I don't have a dog in this fight. Go deal with your own springs. And you guys, I mean,
you're my friend. I want to help you.
I know, but I just want you to know I appreciate you.
Aw, thank you. I appreciate you. And she goes and makes my clothes smaller in weird places because I'm short.
Oh my God, excuse me. No, but it's so great because
she's a great, seamstress. Yes,
that's what we do. We
fantastic.
We trade work for work. Sometimes.
Yeah, bumpers for jackets.
Yeah, I know. It works out. It totally works out.
It's awesome. So, tell me about you're here at the Mint 400. Yeah. You were with Chevy today. So, are you covering something?
Chevy's racing a Silverado EV, and that's a truck that's been out for a while. But for this race, they've put on a lot of the ZR2 components.
Okay.
Which are the Multimatic DSSV shocks, which are they're like these spool valve shocks that kind of give you. It's kind of analogous to the live valve technology, but it's not an electric, whereas Fox uses like sensors and stuff to make those things. This is all done with the spool valves, and it's way above my pay grade in terms of the engineering.
Okay.
All I can tell you is that when you're on the pavement and you like get into a turn, into a twisty, the shock is super stiff, and there's like minimal body roll, even on
it
like
knows how to respond,
right?
Like
and
given given
a specific parameter, yes.
Okay.
And then when you get on the dirt, they soften up really well, and they soak up a lot of holes. I mean, it's a really, really good product.
So did you get to ride in one of these trucks, or you just heard? Okay.
I've driven the Colorado ZR2 and the ICE ones.
Yep.
I haven't driven this EV, but normally the EV has air springs on it. You don't want to have air springs out here. Although the Rivian that is also racing in the EVs, they have air springs.
Okay. But
there are coil springs on the Silverado EV. I swear to God, dude, the coils are like this thick.
Oh.
And they've got, because the truck weighs about.
Oh, that's true with the batteries.
With the battery, the truck probably weighs 10,000 pounds, 9,000 pounds.
Makes a lot of sense, sure. Yeah, definitely.
So
interesting. These are like heavy duty coil springs.
Yeah,
here.
So that's my thing. Is like I want to get what the rate is on the coils.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting.
I like all those. I know, right? All the technical shit. Ooh.
But it's also like, I mean, out here they only have to do one lap. So for the limited cars, that's about 70 miles. In terms of their battery, they have plenty of battery to do that. That battery is like 200 kilowatt hours or something. They'll be fine.
So the Rivian and the Chevy are in the same class.
They are not.
Okay.
So the Rivian is in the production EV class. Okay. But because the ZR2 EV
modified.
Is not, it's not a production vehicle.
Because
they put the ZR2 stuff on it.
Yes,
So, and I'm like,
they upgraded, modified it, but technically it's
not a production vehicle.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can't buy the ZR2 stuff on it.
Yep.
And I'm kind of like, but they're both EVs, so shouldn't they, I want to see them both.
Kind of. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. The competition right there. Yeah. So basically, they're each in their own class, and there's no one against them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
but we'll be able to compare times at least for the first lap.
Of course.
And then what the Rivian does have to charge, because it has a smaller battery.
Okay.
So, but what they're going to do, and it's the same thing that they did at the California 300, is they finish their first lap, and then they go off course. They go to a public charging station. They charge, they eat lunch, they go back to where they exited the course. So they go to Baker? And they continue.
No, I'm just kidding.
They go to the giant thermometer.
I know. Yeah.
No, there's public charging in Prim.
That is really funny.
Yeah. So at the California 300, they exited the course in Barstow, and they went to In-N-Out. They plugged
Fantastic.
They plugged in the vehicle and had burgers.
Perfect.
And then went back. I'm like, this is amazing. And I mean, and they get a lot of grief for
Sounds
that. But
like
it's
a dream.
It's like that's where the infrastructure is right now. And at some point,
and that's what it is.
At some point, you'll be able to do a, like an EV conversion where you'll be able to have swappable batteries and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That's years from
very
now.
much, yeah.
And honestly, and this group of people, by and large, they really, they want the sound of that V8.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And listen, I love the sound of a V8 too.
I do too.
But there is nothing like instant electric
speed,
torque.
Yeah,
they are
for sure.
quick.
The torque and speed, especially like the Rivian, the way it performs and stuff, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so you can check up for something, and you can get back up to your speed really, really fast.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
but they're
Love
heavier. You can't charge. I mean, there's a lot of drawbacks.
So you'll be covering about how the Chevy does in the race this weekend.
Yeah. So I'm writing it up for TechCrunch, which
Okay.
is cool. And I'll include stuff about the Rivian as well. There's also an electric bike that's running, but I haven't seen it or heard much about it.
Or heard? No, you.
Well,
can't
of course I haven't heard it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tried to find the driver of record or the rider of record on Instagram and
Okay.
Facebook. I couldn't find him. So
yeah, that's always hard finding races.
I know. And I'm like, somebody tell me about
Right?
this person.
Right.
Which is why, if you have an alternative powertrain vehicle, if there's something about your vehicle that makes it special, dude, write your press releases.
We're talking about running out on batteries.
Yeah, speaking of running out on batteries, we just had to run out on batteries.
No, but you bring up such a great point because people really need to know. I mean, just racing is,
It's not good enough, no.
It isn't good enough.
No.
I mean, if you want to have a successful career, you need to put out press releases. You need to let other people know what you're doing out there, or have at least a team that does that for you,
And it's hard because, I think all the time, I'm like, nobody needs to know what I'm doing. Like, nobody cares.
Right,
But
on the other side, I know.
People do.
I'm the same way.
People do.
I forget. I'm like,
know.
oh, yeah, I should show people things
Speaking
like
of, what are you doing? What is in your garage right now? Have you talked about this yet on camera?
Oh, look at you. I
know.
love this.
You can tell that I also
have
am an
a little.
interviewer.
I have a little bit, but yes.
Okay.
I have a Ford Bronco in 1968
I'm so
that is
excited.
just a frame right now, and I will be here next year at the Min 400 Racing.
Yay.
So yes, I'm
Okay,
pretty
good.
stoked about that.
Good.
But yeah, it's been like this evolution of like, I wasn't sure like kind of what I wanted it to be, but now it's like, oh yeah, I know. And it's funny because I was talking to this Jason this morning, not my husband Jason, but I was telling him like on the way here, I was like, what do I need to be doing? And I'm like, when I do builds, like that's my thing.
Yeah.
That's what and I was like, oh no, I have to do this. It's going to be hard. It's definitely not going to be easy, but I'm like, that's exactly why I have to do it.
Yeah. Doesn't
Taking
that
that
suck?
leap.
Like, why do I have to do the hard stuff to grow?
That's it right there. That's it right there. You
Growth
have to
is
do
so
the hard
hard.
stuff to grow. So, and I'm like, that's exactly why I have to do it, because I know it's so hard.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
If it were easy, everyone would do it.
I know. So, okay, well, I think we've talked long enough. I know, the 5 minutes is way long
Yeah,
ago.
sorry. Not sorry.
Fantastic. So great seeing you.
I
I'm
know.
glad that I got to have you on finally. This
I
is
know,
so good.
finally. And when
Yes.
you need a fill-in co-host, just let me
I know,
know.
for sure.
If I'm in
'Cause
town,
it's not far away. I know.
that's the
Yeah.
thing, is if I'm in town.
Okay. I know. I'm always like, where are you? She's like, Mexico? Okay.
I just got back literally yesterday.
I know. See? I know.
I was like, I gotta get the car. I gotta
It's
get
like
across the
you're my
border.
friend or something. Okay. Thank you, Emme Hall.
You're welcome. Bye.
Oh, get it.